It's time for Measure Twice.
Welcome to Measure Twice. I'm Rob Perugini, along with Chris Kramer from C. Kramer Interiors and Joel Graber from Graber Custom Remodeling. This is the show that helps you envision your home's potential, and you're listening to us on Michiana's News Talk 95.3 MNC. We're brought to you in part by Measure. We are Measure Twice. We're brought to you in part by Leatherman Supply. Leatherman Supply. You know them very well. Everything windows, doors, cabinets, and countertops. You know them. The showroom right near C. Kramer Interiors in Granger. Thanks, Leatherman Supply, for letting me screw up your read. I appreciate that. And Hoosier Hardwood Floors, Michiana's trusted and valued experts on hardwood floors. You can visit them at HoosierHardwoodFloors.com. There you go. We use and rely on our sponsors, and Dean knows that. So at Hoosier. So it's that time of year where if you know somebody who's got a lake house or a beach house, they're kind of like, it's probably been closed up by now, I would think. There's some lakes that there are lots of people that live on them all year, but many of them, nobody's, it's like a desert town.
Yeah, people don't like weatherize them anymore, really.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Unless you've got a really old school cottage.
Yeah.
When you say weatherize, though, what do you mean? Like leave the water
shutting off
dripping
the water and weatherize your plumbing.
Wouldn't you shut off your water if you're going to be away from a place a long time just because if something happens, it's not...
It wouldn't hurt, I suppose, but...
Yeah. I don't know if that's something that my father-in-law has just like drilled into my head. We go on vacation, I shut the water off to the house. Because he's like, you don't want to come home to a lake if something, you could save yourself a lot of trouble.
That's actually not a bad thought.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. I mean, he is paranoid. We all know that. It's okay.
It probably, if it happens to you once,
I think that's what happened to him, and he's where part of the reason where I get the washing machine valve.
Oh, the hose.
Yeah. Because he says when you go away, you shut off the water and lock all the bedrooms. I don't know. Whatever else we're doing. But if you have a lake house, I assumed you would just shut off the water, even if, you're... But you said they were really not even winterizing. What other than shutting off the water? Because to me, that is the whole...
Well,
that's everything.
You would shut off the water and winterize the plumbing if you weren't going to run heat.
So that's what my question is. Like, you say winterize the plumbing. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what do you mean? Because to me, winterizing the plumbing is shutting off the water.
Got to get the water out of the lines.
You got to get the water, yeah.
So you just go to the bottommost drain and open it? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I've never actually winterized one.
Don't they blow out
they'll blow out the line, or
so you're saying like you actually like make sure they're dry in there, or
put antifreeze in it or whatever.
Huh? I guess that makes sense.
But that's not really something that people do anymore. A lot of people, nicer ones, will still go.
Yeah, I was just going to say that a lot of people still use them throughout the year, even though they're not living in it day to day.
Right. Yeah.
So there's no need to winterize it.
I guess that's shrinking, like shrinking down. People are going in the winter a lot more.
Well, when we think of lake houses, we're not talking about the old school cottage that
wasn't insulated.
One bedroom.
Yeah.
Now they're generally homes.
Yes.
Less affected by regular weather
Correct.
and stuff like that.
But if you have one and you don't use it on a regular basis, especially this time of year, it would be good to turn off your water.
Yeah, if you're not going to be there for months and months
or weeks.
Yeah, and where I was brought up along the ocean, they used to shutter, they'd shutter the windows because you get a lot of like really nasty storms in the winter, and it's really the sand that finds its way into your house no matter what, and then, the shutters were not like boards, they look like they belonged to the house. But you would see that a lot, and you would always they always have awnings. God, where I'm from, I haven't seen an awning here, but like you drive through my hometown, there's people with awnings, and there's a burgeoning awning business. Like all the windows have awnings over them. It's kind of cool looking. a very specific look. But you don't put those up yourself. People put those up for you because you're on a ladder and so that goes away. That's like where I'm from. That's like the winterizing along the ocean, and they shut off the water like completely, and make sure that that's done. But that's not the water you should be worried about.
Right.
Right. The ocean over there is really the water that you can't shut off.
True.
And that will
It has a mind of its own.
Yeah, it's going to do what it wants to do. But the lake house life is something that this time of year is kind of specific about. So that's why I wanted to start with okay, people are winterizing, but I think many people are after a season, right? They start doing the work on that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah, you want to do that when it's off season.
Yeah. And what do you think? The average run of the mill project kitchen should take what? With that, like an average kitchen remodel. What is that?
What's
3 weeks?
What's average?
You're just being difficult. He's being.
I don't know. What do you consider average?
I don't know.
Is there
an average?
Yeah, no.
I didn't think there was.
It's all unique.
This is where I'd be looking at the audience and making faces at you guys. Okay, like if you're if you're if you're gutting the kitchen, okay, I get it. That's different than I'm gonna put new countertops in and some new appliances. I get it. So okay, gutting the kitchen job, pull everything out, new kitchen in. What's the time frame? And let's assume that you were doing for the work part. Let's say you did a great job and you worked with your designer and you picked all your stuff out and it's go time. About how long should you plan for that job?
Once you give them a deposit?
Once you give them the deposit.
Yeah. For the work itself.
Yes, the work itself.
I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks. And then usable at the end of 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're moved in, like you
hope.
You run the blender.
You hope.
Unless you run into something.
I get that. You got, I'm saying like.
In a vacuum.
In a vacuum.
What's a vacuum?
This guy has people.
This guy over here.
I know I don't have people.
It's his mom.
His people. But so like 8 weeks. And in the mind, I think is somebody who's going to have that done in their house. They have probably 8 weeks in mind. I got to tell you, that's probably not off of what people think it'll take.
I don't know. Some people think it'll take
2 weeks.
2 weeks. And it's
or a week.
What are you? No.
I can't even get your countertops that fast.
Yeah.
We've talked enough in here to know that some people means that they probably weren't communicated well with up front. Like if they think that during the job, then some communication broke down. Right? They may go into it thinking 2 weeks, but it's up to the contractor and the designer to be like, hey, look, this is the time frame for this.
It can take 8 to 10 weeks just to get your cabinets made.
But wouldn't you start that before you're working?
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
You're not
going to start the demo and then wait 8 to 10 weeks to build cabinets.
No.
Right now.
No, you've added.
Try to avoid that as much as possible.
Yes. You've added weeks.
I already tore out my kitchen. Oh, well, you got a problem.
Yeah. People will call every now and again and be like, hey, we have our kitchen tore out. I'm like,
do they really?
Yeah. Every once in a blue moon, we'll get a call like that. And we're like, do you have cabinets? No, we need some. Oh, boy, you're in trouble. I'll be like Chinese.
Or pizza.
Or pizza.
Yeah, you're going to be eating out. Everybody's going to know you. And they're going to miss you when your kitchen's done.
Yeah.
That's what my friend Marvin said when he was doing his kitchen. It took that kitchen 12 weeks to get done. And it was a lot of architectural stuff that they were doing in there, right? Moving walls and there was some stuff going on. And he laughed. He was like, everybody knows me. Every restaurant within 10 miles of this place knows my wife and I. They look at us like we're bad people because we do nothing but eat out. But he had that issue, and it was in the winter, so he grilled a little. But yeah, you have to plan that out.
Yeah,
you have to plan your meals out, and you have to probably get a gym membership because it might be pounds. Because that's reality. Kitchens kind of is vital. It's vital. That's what makes it a home. I mean, if you're not cooking and eating there, you're in a hotel room with many rooms.
Try to sell a house without a kitchen.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't get a mortgage.
You can't do it.
Or a furnace or a bathroom.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to have those three things, or you can't even get a mortgage.
Yep.
You really can't get a mortgage. You can't get a certificate of occupancy.
Right.
Yeah, you can't even. You're not even allowed to be living there. That's the thing is. There are vital things, but specifically around a lake house, my point is that you're not there. Mm-hmm. So you have the opportunity to let it run, and like not have to live with it, which is a benefit. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to talk about in the next segment, some of the things that people do in their lake houses to update them. So I'm glad that you talked about those cottages. And we'll talk about that when we come back. This is Measure Twice. Welcome back to Measure Twice. I'm Rob Perugini, along with Joel Graber from Graber Custom Remodeling and Chris Kramer from C. Kramer Interiors. This is the show that helps you envision your home's potential. And you're listening to us on Michiana's News Talk 95.3 MNC. We're brought to you in part by Leatherman Supply. Everything windows, doors, cabinets, and countertops with the showroom now open in Granger next to C. Kramer Interiors. And Hoosier Hardwood Floors, Michiana's trusted and valued experts on hardwood floors. You can visit them at HoosierHardwoodFloors.com. If you were here while we're off air, it may be a more interesting show. I don't know. But we got on a topic off air about spam that has just gripped us.
Yeah. I can't even remember what we were talking about.
Now, come on, you do. The lake houses. We're talking about lake houses. Because there are people listening right now enjoying ham and thinking about their spam and thinking about their lake house.
Yep.
Probably.
Yep. There's that one person out there.
Yeah, that one. There's nothing better than the spam in a lake house. You can catch a lot of spam at the supermarket. I've never tasted it. Never tasted spam. Never had it.
Yeah,
Couldn't tell you. Or a corn dog. We already went through this already. Spam and corn dog, never had it. Never will, probably. Why would I do that? Why would I pick that up now?
I'm not interested in a corn dog.
But
me either. Ugh.
But I am interested in renovating lake houses because this time of year, it's cold out. People aren't there. Work's being done. Ideally, the construction guys, they're probably against you redoing your siding this time of year because it's windy and cold.
You can redo your siding during the season because it's typically not going to affect your living there for the most part. There might be some inconveniences,
but it's not like I can say this: the average siding job, if you have all the siding ordered and then it's on site, shoot, man, that goes up fast.
Yeah,
a week,
especially when it's cold.
Well, when it's, I guess there's some specific issues with cold siding, right?
Like,
vinyl siding.
Yeah,
right?
Because they can get brittle.
Yeah, so you can't get any straight cuts. How do you remedy that?
Work in the garage,
keep it warm.
Is that it? Right? You just
they build a fire.
Yep.
Melt it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. You're
kidding. Right. They do not build a fire.
Yeah, Chris is like, my disclaimer.
Disclaimer, they do not do that.
They burn it, melt it, reform it. No, but really you just have to work someplace warm to cut it, right? Because it's hard to cut. Wouldn't you use like a finish saw to cut that or there's just nothing you could do? It's just going to chip.
It will chip if you want it warm enough that it's not going to be brittle.
How much siding do you do in the winter, though?
We try not to do any.
I was just going to say.
Last winter, however, we did a ridiculous amount because it's how it fell out.
Yeah.
With a couple of projects.
Oh, it's like one eye is always on those winter months coming when the siding's like the last thing.
Yeah.
That's probably pretty.
I mean, this winter we'll have to do some framing, but the exterior will be able to wait until it warms up. So
right. How does framing go in the winter?
One board at a time.
Yep. He's got to figure it out.
There you go. Does that affect the wood at all? Does it make it brittle or anything, or it doesn't
No,
really?
the wood's fine.
Yeah, because wood's been spending its life outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been outside.
Yeah.
That's what's cool. Really, Chris, have you ever talked to Joel about framing? How specific framing is? It looks like you're just Tinker Toys and Lincoln Logs. Can you measure? Yes. Can you nail? Yes. Okay, you can frame. It's like, no, that's not necessarily true, right? Because you said boards go a different direction. You got to pay attention to stuff I never thought about.
Yeah, you need to pay attention to the crowning of your board and there's lots of stuff to pay attention to and that you have to think through.
So you guys specifically frame your own stuff.
Yeah.
Because you're that particular about framing.
Yes.
So I think that was pretty neat. But in the winter, framing's probably, it's safe. Some concrete's not really going down in the winter either, right?
Yeah. That's come a long way, really.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you have a lake house and you're like, I'm going to add, you can get that done in the winter.
I mean, you want to know before the ground freezes because then you want to lay like the blankets down so that when excavator or concrete guy comes in to dig, you want to make sure that the ground isn't frozen solid.
What do you mean blankets? This sounds crazy.
They're electric blankets. They plug them in.
Yeah.
Get the Snuggies down.
Yeah. They all have a bunch of hot water bottles in them.
Are you being serious?
No.
Okay.
I was gonna say. I thought. Now that I was like,
Then
it was like, oh, really? I didn't know they had such a thing.
Sorry, I was a hot mic there for a second.
The look on our faces was like,
what?
Like our excavator has blankets. They're just really large blankets, really, and you lay it down over where the excavating would happen.
I know they
before they dig.
And we so if we know that we're going to have an addition starting in January, he might go out there now and lay blankets down because the ground hasn't frozen. Well, what that does is it helps to keep that area from freezing solid.
Really? Wow, because you'd think that a blanket wouldn't matter.
It does.
Yeah, I never would have thought that. I'm just in my mind thinking, how does that work?
Yeah, that wouldn't it just get as cold as the blanket be?
So it must protect the ground from the air.
Yeah, and it can keep moisture from getting in because you get your freeze thaw.
Yeah. Yep.
Can you dig through a frozen? I mean,
you can, but man, that's a nightmare.
That's why they didn't bury bodies in the winter.
Yeah,
I knew he was going to go someplace. I knew it. We knew.
That's the Italian in it.
That is right there. Yeah.
But that's true. They couldn't dig.
You're right, and I'm telling you, my friend was lived in Alaska for a few years, and he was he was an attorney, and he'd have to visit these far off places, and he's like, no joke, the bodies are outside. They're, you know what I mean, because you can't get them in the ground, and then they bury everybody at once. So that's interesting, and that's happening now.
Yeah.
Well,
you can't fight nature,
right?
Well, can you imagine how deep their permafrost goes? I mean,
it might not.
Ours
go
is
away.
They figure ours is 3 feet.
Yeah.
There it's got to be 10 feet.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But so you're saying you can, if you know it's happening, you can
prepare for it. Yeah, you can be prepared for it.
And really, the biggest exterior issue is siding if it's vinyl.
Yeah.
If it's cedar or wood, I guess is engineered siding.
That'll be fine too.
That won't chip. That doesn't. Because we talk about that every now and then. And I'm like, is there engineered siding that's wood and engineered siding that's composite? Are there two different kinds?
There are multiple different kinds of engineered siding.
Or some wood, though, I guess.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't matter because of the way that they're...
Yeah.
It's not like vinyl that's susceptible.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me believe that if it's wintertime and somebody, a bird hits your siding in the winter, and it could crack it, probably.
The bird?
Well, the bird's definitely getting cracked. For sure. Birds hit siding. I've seen it.
Birds hurt windows. They hit.
Jeez. But so if you have exterior work, really vinyl siding is the one that you have to that's kind of an iffy thing.
Oh yeah.
And then the poor cold people put it up because it's cold. It gets windy at lakes.
Oh yeah.
Which brings us to the next, in the next minute and a half that we have or so. I think people reaccommodate for wind after they live in a lake house because it's surreal. You don't realize how windy a lake is until you hang out on one. And it can be not windy anywhere, but you go to the lake and there's a wind there because water creates the wind. Does that change your idea of what kind of siding, like would that matter?
Nah, not really.
Because, all siding is basically meant to hold up, right?
Yeah.
So it's
not like being on the beach where you're from, where you have to really pay attention because you don't have sand pelting it for 3 months.
I will tell you that the vinyl siding back home, when I compare it to the vinyl siding here, you can't find that low gauge siding anywhere back on the East Coast.
It's all heavy.
It's all heavy. You can find it, but you got to order it. Where here, you got to order the heavy stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's at back home where I grew up. It's not. That's basically what's out. They're all super heavy, like heavy to lift. And
Probably has backer too.
Yeah, and it's because there's just nonstop wind.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like there's never a day where it's not breezy. It's always.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's just different consideration for us.
Same with roofing material. The gauge of the roofing material is very thick for the same reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when we come back, let's talk about like some of the cool things you can do to change the look of your lake house. And this is the right season to do it. This is Measure Twice. Welcome back to Measure Twice. I'm Rob Perugini, along with Chris Kramer from C. Kramer Interiors and Joel Graber from Graber Custom Remodeling. This is the show that helps you envision your home's potential, and you're listening to us on Michiana's News Talk 95.3 MNC. And Measure Twice is brought to you by Leatherman Supply. Everything windows, doors, cabinets, and countertops with the showroom in Granger, right next to C. Kramer Interiors. And Hoosier Hardwood Floors, Michiana's trusted and valued experts on hardwood floors. Mm-hmm. You can visit them at HoosierHardwoodFloors.com. We're here in person. We're not AI. We're the real deal here.
Oh,
it doesn't get more real than this.
We are not AI. That's proof we're not AI.
It doesn't.
AI would sound just like me.
Yeah.
Do you know you can like sample your voice into AI?
Yep.
And it'll have you singing whatever song you want to hear yourself sing.
Yeah. But I don't want to.
I was going to say I really don't want to hear. I can't stand the way my voice sounds.
I didn't say it would be a good thing. I just said you could. You could actually do. I mean, it's kind of the virtual reality thing is very.
Yeah.
It's with us, but if you use it properly, it can save a lot of time and stuff. But
yeah, AI is great, and I love it because I know it can't swing a hammer.
That's right. My friend who's a fireman, he's like, AI is never going to run into a building and put it out.
That's true.
AI will let the building burn down because there's nothing it can do about it.
Might tell you how to put it out.
It will. You can read all about it as you watch it.
As it's burnt to the ground. Wait a minute. I got to see what ChatGPT says.
Yeah.
ChatGPT just said, please get me out of this building.
That's right. Take a hose. Not the shiver, not the wood.
I knew you were going to say that. Okay, so moving along. We're talking about lake
coming
houses.
back.
We're talking about your lake house.
Were we?
Yes. You need to get there fast before this stops being a family show. So I think when you had mentioned like it's not like the old houses,
right,
cottages and stuff like that, which are not even slowly going away. They're
gone. I think for the most part, a lot of them.
Yeah, you really only see them on smaller lakes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If your lake doesn't have a bar on it, there's probably cottages still on it. that's like I'm not kidding. There's bars like popping up on lakes all the time now. Then the cottages, they kind of just made them. To me, they were just plopped in when I visited them. Like almost no rhyme or reason. There was probably a rhyme or reason when they built it, but as time has passed, it just looks like they're random, like just on the lot in a way, But generally there were 1 or 2 bedrooms, right, Chris? Like,
Yeah, and
and then scabbed onto.
maybe a bathroom.
maybe a bathroom?
Maybe.
You had a lake.
Or an outhouse.
Yeah.
I mean, but no furnace, right?
Not typically, because they were really only used for the summer months.
Yeah.
A lot of them were used for fishermen, just for fishing cottages.
More like shelter rather than a place to hang out.
It could have running water in it, but it was very
Primitive.
Yeah, I was gonna say primitive,
basic, right?
Very basic.
Yeah, like sleeping quarters actually in living areas,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yep.
type thing.
Yep.
Where-
It did have somewhat of a kitchen. Yeah,
right. And
got to
they're-
cook those fish.
You got to cook them, and they probably put more focus into the place where you skin and
Oh, yeah.
fish. Than,
Oh yeah.
Those probably are state of the art for them, but then you go in and it's like not state of the art. But they're kind of gone. Okay, so you have this house that was built, and I built probably in the 80s, because I think that's when lakes started to turn, right?
The 80s
Yeah.
into what we see today.
Yeah. Didn't that process kind of start then?
Maybe. I think there were some before that, but they weren't quite as elaborate as they are now. The homes on the lake.
Right. And my point is that there's now older homes on lakes that were not cottages.
Correct.
They replaced a cottage, but they're kind of aged. So this renovation revival's kind of happening again because,
Updating.
yeah, these updates need to happen. And I'm not talking about the ones that were on a lake for 100 years that were the only house on the lake.
Right.
Some of those are really cool,
Yeah.
and,
Yep.
and basically you're updating them by just taking what's there and making it new. You're not really adjusting it. But some of those designs, the windows aren't right. They don't exactly face the lake. And that's really what prompted this. My friend in his lake's in Tennessee somewhere. And he's like, yeah, I bought this house. And he's like, and it was built in the 80s. And none of the windows face the lake. And I'm like, really? And he's like, he looks around the lake and it's like, yeah, none of the windows face the lake. And it's because he's like, there's like a constant wind going down the gorge. So they just didn't put windows there. That's what.
But you want the view of the lake.
Yeah. He's like, it's there. And so he's modernizing it with windows. That's just the low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Chris, when you see, when you get your calls, because I'm sure you get every now and then somebody updating their lake house.
Yep.
What would you say, like, if you had to say the next call is going to be about this updating lake house? What is the norm? What are you normally hearing first? What update is most common?
Working on one now, actually. They're going to start construction this winter. Updating paint colors, lighting, bathrooms. We're taking out the fireplace in the living room because it also backs up to the bedroom. So there's no place to put a good place for a bed in the primary bedroom.
Oh, because
Jeez, really? Because of the fireplace?
Yeah, it's brick
Oh.
on the back side of it, and it's in the primary bedroom, right in the middle.
so that's where you'd put a bed.
It's where you would typically want to put a bed, but you can't. So
They have twin beds on either side of that.
it's very awkward.
Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, it's a very awkward. It's a very awkward primary bedroom. And I said, if we could get rid of the fireplace, make this a wall, we could orient the bed, and it would have a nice layout. So
When was this place built?
oh gosh, I would say probably 90s, maybe. I mean, it has an absolutely breathtaking view of the lake, but it needs some updating.
So if you're going to take out a fireplace, Joel, what's happening there? Like, because if there's a fireplace there, does that mean that structurally it's not holding the house up, right? Because
No, but you have to deal with structure.
that's what I'm thinking. It might not be the main beam, but
And it's a big fireplace. It's not just a little. It's a
really,
wall.
well, obviously you got to rip it out. But now you have a hole in the roof and a. right?
You have a hole all the way
There's all,
wherever it was.
Wherever it was.
There's a hole.
You can cap that off, though.
Yeah.
So that's not a big deal.
no,
Yeah.
no.
But it improves the functionality of two spaces.
Right.
And yeah, and some people really would miss a fireplace, you know?
You know, I mean, I guess it depends on when they're using it too. Like if they're not using it much in the winter, what's the point of having a fireplace?
Well, they're going to eventually
Move there.
move there. But the
It's
fire
just not a good place for a fireplace.
correct because you're orienting the view to the lake. The fireplace is off to the side over here.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not necessary and it's not a priority for them. So it's more important that they get living space right than it is a fireplace.
Right, especially if you're going to move there. It's not like you live with some inconveniences in a vacation
Yep.
home
Yeah.
because of view or
Yep.
whatever. Here, they're going to be there. That would be
Yeah.
kind of a hassle.
Yeah, you don't, if you're there, just I mean, right now in the summer, how many fires you're going to burn?
Yeah.
Right.
Not in. I mean, you'll have a campfire maybe outside. You're not gonna have. You're not.
Yeah, right. It's more fun to be
Yeah.
out
Out on the patio with at the fire pit.
So you tear that out, Joel, and you just are framing back in. That's
That's what
like
you
it
do.
like it was never there. You know,
Yeah.
like because
Piece everything back in.
there's nothing there. You know, you didn't take out a vent because there was a giant vent there called the fireplace.
And it's not holding up the wall.
Right.
Exactly. So that's actually. It sounds like an enormous job, but it's pretty darn straightforward.
Yeah, it's a lot of labor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of labor.
Yeah.
Is it brick?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's. I mean, I'm working on one right now. Well, we haven't started, but like, it's a legit fieldstone fireplace that has to come out.
Mm.
Whole
takes-
fieldstones.
Yeah, some of them
but
are
not veneer.
Some of them are pretty good sized.
I think that's so cool that when people take the stones from their property,
Yeah.
and was that what they did?
It looks like it very easily.
Very cool. It's just so neat that when you see that.
That's what we want to take out.
Chris is showing
that's
pictures
ugly.
on the radio.
This is the primary. That's where the bed has to go.
Oh, geez. Yeah, there's zero room there.
Isn't that funny?
And if you put the bed here,
Yeah.
you've got the whole.
And then
Centers.
you get to see outside too.
Yes.
Well, pulling out a fireplace is a big deal, but it's straightforward.
That's what's coming out.
Do you ever run into fire? Oh yeah, that's kind of wild.
Yeah.
It's very
when it was
90s house. It's very 70s.
And that's the view.
It's a beautiful view.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, it's nice.
Why would you want to focus your view on the fireplace?
Well, you got to watch the game.
And that just
sometime.
takes up space.
But that's what'll open up. You take the fireplace out, you have a place to put a TV.
Much better place to put it.
And it's you can function better. When we come back, let's wrap it up with some other changes you make to lake houses to make them better. This is Measure Twice. Welcome back to Measure Twice. I'm Rob Perugini along with Joel Graber from Graber Custom Remodeling and Chris Kramer from C. Kramer Interiors. This is the show that helps you envision your home's potential. And you're listening to us on Michiana's News Talk, 95.3 MNC. Thank you very much. Measure Twice is brought to you in part by Leatherman Supply. Everything windows, doors, cabinets, and countertops with the showroom now open in Granger, next to C. Kramer Interiors. And Hoosier Hardwood Floors, Michiana's trusted and valued experts on hardwood floors. You could visit them at HoosierHardwoodFloors.com. I bet Leatherman Supply and Hoosier Hardwood Floors are all over lakes throughout northern Indiana. I bet they've touched houses there
Oh yeah.
enormously, I would imagine. Because you had mentioned something in passing. It's like, oh, well, you can do siding outside in the summer because it's not really invasive, really. It'll be a week, but you're not really in the house ever. Floors, you're out. You're not in. If you're doing floors at a lake house,
Any house, I was going to say,
well,
yeah.
Well, but I mean,
If you want your floors done for the season,
yeah,
do them now.
Yeah.
wood floors will teach you patience because you're.
Yeah, it's a whole process.
Yeah.
And there's no way around that.
And I noticed it looks done before it's done.
Yeah.
Wood floors look like they're done, but they're not done.
Right.
Because then you have your top coats.
Yeah. It's that last coat that you're like, oh, that's ready to go. And it's like, no, we got one more. And that's
One
the one
more.
that takes the longest to cure.
Mm-hmm.
like a couple days, right? Or
Yeah, usually it's like, you don't want to be working. You don't really want to be like heavy traffic or anything on it for like 3 days.
right.
Yep. And then you can't put a rug down for like 3 weeks. You're not supposed to.
Why is that?
Because
It's got a cure.
it has a cure time. So concrete's similar because you can use with this top coat. It's hard enough, like within a day or two, to walk on gently, like in zones and whatnot. But you don't want to be working on it for 3 days, and then it's hard enough where it's going to hold up. But it still has a longer cure time, where it's fully drying, and so if you cover it with a rug, that'll mess it up.
Can you put furniture on it within 3 weeks?
You can put
After the
furniture
3
in it
days.
after like the 3 days.
Yeah,
But you're just not supposed to put a rug down and
because then it's not able to actually cure.
evenly.
I see. Yeah, it will teach you patience.
Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of the engineered floors are more popular because you put it down and you're done.
Yeah, you're done. Yeah, it's more satisfying.
Where you don't have to wait for all of those things to cure times and all of that. It's immediate.
I will tell you, though, I know the engineered or veneer floors are beautiful and they're great and they provide this instant stuff. Graber's putting down a floor in a house in the old section of South Bend that's all wood. I see a difference
Oh, there's a big difference.
There's no
See a
Oh,
difference
yeah, there's no
There's a
question.
between the solid wood and it is multi-dimensional.
Yeah. And it's even better when you see them done refinished properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super. The finisher, when it comes to cabinets and floors, it's money well spent. Do not skimp on the finish.
No, because and Hoosier Hardwood is just they're just the best.
No question about
It's
that.
pretty nuts how good those things look. But if you're in a lake house, do you go all the way to wood floor? Because aren't you just asking to be disappointed that you're going to wreck this floor because people are
Okay, client number one. Let me tell you the benefits,
Yeah.
not the negatives.
Tell me the benefit of putting all that money into a wood floor at a lake house, because I'm skeptical. I really am. I'm not being,
Well, how much? I mean, how much more traffic? I mean, like, you'll have more traffic, but how much more abuse do you think a lake house is going to get than your house?
I think wet and sandy,
Where are you getting the sand from?
because
Most lakes around here, you're not getting.
You're not getting sand unless you're on Lake Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
okay, you're going to get
Or you
wet
do something
people.
artificial.
You're gonna get wet people. Wet
Yes,
people.
You're going to get wet people in there.
Yeah, and
You have a good top coat on it.
yeah, you got a good top coat. It seals. The wood is sealed.
Right. Okay. But I think I'm not alone. I think most people think
I agree with you. That's why I said, okay, client.
okay.
Yeah.
You were getting that I just sound like everybody is like, I'm not going to spend all that
No,
money
but those are the arguments we get all the time
and you're pushing for wood floors because they're just
because it's a forever floor. So it's a forever floor. You put it down once,
and start. You may as well start there.
and an engineered floor. Some of them have they're a limited lifetime. You can't. Some of them you can't resand and finish. Some you can. But your solid 3/4 is
That's multi-generation.
multi-generation.
I mean, look at Jasper's house that we redid. I mean, those floors are,
They're going to be there.
they've been there for 80, 90 years, and that's going to outlast him.
And they got refinished, and they get another 80, 90 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like
And they're beautiful.
and mine are 194
Yeah.
years old.
crazy.
Most of them.
194 years old. It blows my
Almost
mind.
everything except the new edition, which is 1860.
So bottom line,
The new edition.
but bottom line is what you're saying is like, look, put in the nicest floor you can afford to put in. Because
Right.
That's
And there are legitimate reasons for certain types of flooring. Like, for example, somebody who's reluctant to put down a hardwood floor because, my dogs are going to scratch it. I mean, I would recommend going with hickory because it is hard, and you're not going to see the dog scratches.
And it'll still last 100 years.
And I think a lot of people have a misconception that hardwood floors are too delicate. They scratch too easy. Yeah. They didn't, it's this, it's that. But the reality is, yes, they can scratch, but you get a good hard coat down, and it'll last for years before you even need to think about refinishing it.
Right. My daughter's house, same way. Their floors will be there. Matter of fact, the house won't be there, and the floor will be there. That's what it looks like. But in a lake house, I think some people are like, well, I don't know, man. This is the other house. And something that, I've heard is like, well, you wouldn't say, oh, well, this is our vacation house. Don't put that big beam down the middle. We don't need all that structural integrity because we're not here all the time. And it's like your floor is kind of the same thing is what I'm saying. It's it's a structural piece of the house because you walk on it all day that you see.
Yeah.
So don't skimp on it, even on a lake house.
Right.
Because it's a structural part of the house. It doesn't hold the house up.
It's necessary.
But it's necessary.
It is.
Yeah. Just like you said, try and sell a house without a floor.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't do that either.
You can't do that either. Bathrooms, kitchens, and floors.
Yeah.
They're all mandatory. So don't skimp on it. Are there any other things you shouldn't skimp on just because it's a lake house? Like people go, it's just a lake house. We don't need that.
I don't hear that.
Basically.
Because it's not just a lake house anymore.
Yeah.
It's more.
And people realize that their lake houses is also an investment because those properties will never decrease because there's only so much lake frontage.
Right. You can't. They're not building new lakes.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, tongue in cheek, they are. They're putting houses around holes that people dig, but it's not the same.
No.
It's different character.
Yep.
Around the lake, a lake that was put there by a glacier,
And I say do it for you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the resale or whatever. You make it what you want it to be for you.
So that must go over into appliances and countertops and furniture. Your lake house is no longer like we put all the hand-me-down furniture in there. 'Cause that's the way it used to when I grew up.
Yeah, everything.
That's all of our time. Thanks for listening. This has been Measure Twice.
Podcasts by Federated Media.